Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Last episode, we went back to Rivendell, and we did quite a bit of running back and forth. Belle was exhausted. She was helping to get the group of 9 together. We had a mixture. We had Gandalf, we had human, we had some elves, we had hobbits, and it became apparent that the elves really didn't want the help of the humans. She was able to convince the elves that perhaps the humans were important in their history. Bellany is back at her homestead. She purchased herself a nice bed. She's so tired, and she is going to lay her head down and take a nap. A well-deserved nap. As her head hits the pillow, she becomes very sleepy, and it's only a few moments before she falls into a very deep sleep. And she begins to dream.
In the year 3434 of the Second Age, a great alliance of elves and men assembled in defiance of the Dark Lord's will to conquer all the lands of Middle-earth. The High Elves, the Blessed of Valinor, who suffered the greatest wraths of Sauron and Morgoth the enemy, now seek to ensure that his evil is forever banished from the world.
Let's talk to Harlan.
My dearest friend, as Sauron surely knows, the mastery is ours in this battle.
You seemed as if lost in a trance, and I could not rouse you until this very moment. My dearest friend, do not allow the enemy to cloud your thoughts with visions of defeat. As Sauron surely knows, the mastery is ours in this battle. Alas, a cornered foe is the most deadly, and there are none more treacherous than the enemy in this realm. We must put our troubles behind us for the moment and press our advantage. Okay, so we're going to attend the High King's address to the Alliance. High King Gil-galad has summoned us. Let's go. We have called upon all the armies and peoples we could, but it still may not be enough. King Riok the Oathbreaker and his traitorous kin have fled into the mountains, and Durin has sent only a few hundred of his folk. Hearken to me, elves and men. The time for debate is over. Sauron sows only division among those who would oppose him, and see now what it has done. The kings of Lorien and the Woodland Realm pressed their forces into certain defeat. And why? They allowed their pride to blind them to the enemy's treachery. Sauron is swift to twist the pride and fear of his foes into the weapons of his own. The men of Numenor that remain in this realm know his treachery all too well. Indeed, the fates of Numenor and Aragorn are tragic, but Sauron's wrath has grown. If we fail to defeat in this battle, there will never again be a force to oppose him. The Dark Lord gathers strength anew beyond the Black Gate. We must throw down the Morannon. Only then shall Sauron himself be forced to atone for the evil he's laid upon our people. We must put an end to his evil before, we hear a horn in the distance. High King, riders approach from beyond the Morannon. It is a meager assemblage, only 9 in number. Might the enemy seek to parley at last? Sauron does not wield his servants as ambassadors. Allow them to ride forth unhindered, but remain on guard. We shall meet them in the field. At last the bearers of the 9 rings reveal themselves. Oh my. I often wondered who they were. I never really knew. Look, here they come. The Witch King, the Cursed Rider, the Grim Southron, the Gloom of Nirn, the Woe of Khond, the Forsaken Reaver, the Black Blade of Lebanon, and the High Sorcerer of Harad. Oh my, the Bane of Ruin. Ah, the Elf King and the Accursed Faithful. My master has bidden me to deliver his terms. Terms? Have we assembled so great an alliance that your master now seeks to surrender? Sauron the Great speaks not of his surrender, but of yours. Speak then, servant of Sauron. I am no mere servant. You speak to a king of men and the lord of the Nazgul. A Nazgul? Do you no longer speak in your own tongue? You are no king. Silence, elf wretch. These are his terms. Celebrimbor crafted 3 rings in mockery of his design. You will surrender them and swear oaths to never again come before the gates of Mordor. You would be wise indeed to accept his kindness. And if we should accept, what promise can he give that he shall not again make war against us? He offers none. Peace cannot be made with Sauron. Such an offer is merely another of his lies. Go, flee to your master. Tell him what doom approaches. Sauron the Great has stayed my hand for the moment, but his patience is nearly ended. It is you and this pitiful host who should flee. For soon no shelter, no matter how well hidden, shall be free of Sauron's dominion. Oh dear. We're in it now, it would seem. Belle, let us speak. Yes, my lord.
With Sauron's demands rejected, we can no longer hold hope that the Gwytharin shall stay their hands in this battle.
Before the 9 arrived, I sent forth the spears of Lindon with a garrison of elves and men. With Sauron's demands rejected, we can't hold hope that the Gwytharin shall stay their hands in this battle. You know the spears as Theleron, Megaril, and Dernath, and they have stood by my side through many great battles against Sauron and the most terrible of his servants. Ere they departed, they swore to cross the enemy's trenches and dismantle their siege equipment. It is true enough that catapult shot has not hit our position in some time, but the wider front has been brought to ruin by those very tools. You must now be my scout and my messenger. Learn what has become of their garrison, and if any of them yet live. Deliver to them a message of hope. The alliance marches upon the Black Gate, and no evil man or orc shall stand in the way of our victory over Sauron. Go, my friend. I shall ready the alliance to advance upon Morannon. This is quite the task we've been set upon. We have to learn the fates of the Spears of Lindon and their garrison. And there were 3 of them, as he mentioned. So it looks like we are going to take off on our lonesome and see what we can do. Oh, wow, look at this. I'm going to try to just run through. Okay, it looks like I go across here. I'm going. Oh, here we are. We've got Dernaith, McGorl, and we, I think, better get ourselves in this fight. I am not merely a bystander, it would seem. McGorl.
Aid the wounded in the field, and let us hope that the Alliance shall arrive to drive off the enemy's forces.
You tell Melgaril of your encounter with the Gwenthrain, and deliver High King Gilgalad's message. If we shall truly strike at the Black Gate this day, the Alliance must soon come hither. We did as the High King commanded, and brought the enemy's weapons to ruin. But when the Gwenthrain appeared, they slew many of our number, and divided our forces upon the Daggerlad. The faces by which I once knew the Gwenthrain when they first took the rings have long faded. But this one I knew by his blade. The Cursed Rider he was called, and he goaded his steed onward over the backs of elf, man, and orc alike. Regrettably, we were forced into retreat before we could aid many of them from the field of battle. We now struggle to hold the only path over the great trenches, and the enemy's forces have brought forth more trebuchets and ballistades upon the Daggerlad. Aid the wounded in the field, and let us hope that the Alliance shall arrive to drive off the enemy's forces. Okay. Deneraith, I have some news.
One of the Gwenthrain rode westward and scattered our numbers, but the other, he took Theleron.
Oh no! The Gwenthrain, 2 of their number, passed through our garrison from the north. One rode west and scattered our numbers, but the other, he took Theleron. In the midst of battle, he caught Theleron's sword arm in a cruel coil of rope and dragged him eastward by his fell steed. I could not follow through the mass of orcs. I failed him. I failed the High King, but still I must fight on. So we have to rescue wounded soldiers from the orcs west of the forward garrison. We have to go west, which is this way. Okay, here we go. All right, there's one. One more. There's one right over there. Prince Thandril lives, but the rider has him. All right, we need to rescue Prince Thandril to the west of the forward garrison. Can I keep going this way? Oh, there's the cursed rider, and there he is. There's the prince. There is no escape for you. Oh. See you now the fate of those who defy my master. The Dark Lord holds no power over me, Wraith. Be my fate sealed or not, my arrow shall fly true. Fool! Wills can be broken. Thandril of Greenwood. And this blade shall see to that. Oh my God! A cursed spawn of Ungwantari? You think to threaten me? Sauron shall not forgive her this time. Stay back! I will leave you in peace for what you have done. Oh God. Okay. We need to fight this huge spider. Oh, wow. Well, we heard him enough. You have rescued Thranduil.
The prince is fortunate to have survived his father's attack on the Black Gate, but the Gwathran's words trouble me.
The rider spoke a name in Quenya ere he departed. Ungwantari, the Spider Queen. Ungoliant is gone from this realm, and shall trouble the world no longer. But her children remain, preying on anything they can devour and spreading her darkness through Middle-earth. One among them must now hunger as she did, without a care for the powers of the Dark Lord and without any purpose other than to consume. Well, that sounds horrible. Glorfindel and I shall tend the prince's wounds. Go now. All right, so I need to reunite with the Alliance at the forward garrison. Elrond spoke true. The High King and Elendil come at last. Look at the army. Nice.
Our paths are now divided, dear friend. May the light of the Valar shine upon us.
Oh, I'm glad to see you again. Dernath and Mergorel have told me of Theleron's capture, and I'm troubled by such grim tidings. The Dark Lord would not have soon forgotten the wounds he suffered at our hands, and I fear what form his vengeance might take. Even now, as I wish to abandon my duty, I cannot turn my eyes from the Black Gate at such a crucial hour. Thus, I give you this mission of dire importance. You must find Theleron, and you must save him from the Gwythrain. As for the Alliance, one of Durin's folk has devised a cunning plan to draw the attention of the Dark Lord's forces, and allow for a swift strike. In truth, I know not if this plan shall bear fruit, but we must conquer the gate if Sauron is to be defeated. I would ask that you speak to Selgar, the Crafty. He's an honorable enough dwarf, despite his chosen title. Once you've done as he asks, pursue the Gwythrain and rescue Theleron. Alright, so we need to go talk to Selgar the Crafty. Here he is, right here.
At your service. Or perhaps you are at mine.
Have you considered how the enemy's trenches never seem to stop burning? Well, I have. Selgar gestures to the pile of barrels behind him. These barrels are filled with a crude black powder. explodes when exposed to flame. And not only that, but it burns for hours afterwards. Aye, if it were more useful in stonework, I think Durin himself would have us steal some away. The Dark Lord's Black Riders, the damned ring-wraiths, as the men call them, they're wily enough, but these goblins are none too bright. They've left the barrels right next to their own ballistae and catapults. Why don't you set some of them off? That ought to put an end to their siege and draw their attention long enough for the Alliance to reach the Black Gate. Just make sure you don't stick around once you light 'em. We need to, ignite a bunch of barrels here. Alright, I think I see our first target over there. Can I get it from this side? No, of course not. Okay, we're just going to go up the side here because this is pretty convenient. I don't know if I can shoot the barrel from here. No, I have to actually light it. That's fine. Alright, now we're going to come up here. Okay, we've got one more. Alright. Done deal. Now, we have to find and follow Gwaithron's path. Oh my goodness. Follow me. Okay, gotcha. Oh! Harthaland's here. The High King sent me and my company eastward to learn what became of the elves of Lorien, but alas, only Prince Amroth remains upon the field. His father and the others were routed to the north, but where they've gone, we cannot follow. The prince is injured, but he'll heal in time. I must ask, though, why have you come? You tell Harthalan of the task given you by the High King, and of Theleron, the lost spear of Linden, taken by one of the Gwythrain. Your tale troubles me. For Amroth spoke of a terrible figure that passed with an elf slung across his deed. Time may grow short for Theleron, my friend. I think it's time we learned more of what the prince saw. Okay. Guess she's gonna ask him. Can you tell my companion about the rider you saw? I know not if he still lived, but an elf was slung limply across the Gwaithran's steed. He lifted aloft a great mace, and with a crack of thunder his master's statue was toppled. It was then he looked upon me, and what remained beneath his hood sniffed madly at the air. There was a sorcery in his gaze, for his eyes were as flames in a void. Perhaps he thought me slain, for he then rode on into the hills. No, it cannot be. It can be no other. Hithgol, the Witch King, has taken Theleron. Be wary. The men of the East who slew my father have an encampment in the hills, and it is there he must have gone. Thank you, Prince Amroth. Thank you. If the men of the East hold the hillside, then we must go by secret steps.
If the Witch King has taken Theleron to the Overlook, we must pass through the Easterling encampment ahead.
When my company came to Prince Amroth's aid, I heard a great cry, and a thunder like flapping wings from above. It sounded like some terrible flying creature, as great in size as the eagles. I could not spy it through the smoke, but I am certain it lurked beyond my sight. I do not know if this creature is a servant of Sauron, but its presence makes me fear all the more for Theleron. If the Witch King has taken him to the Overlook, we must pass through the Easterling encampment ahead. The men of the East have grown arrogant behind Sauron's might, and they might have left a small passage in their encampment open to the woodlands. Follow me, and we shall sneak in and avoid the dangers of approaching their gate on the road. Okay. Up there. We have to move quietly now. Well, I could probably shoot this archer from here. Okay. I see the hoof prints again. Okay, she's gonna stay there, so we need to press on. Oh, there's the horse. Okay, they must be nearby. Maybe they're right at the top of this stair. Okay, I guess we'll go this way. Boy, oh boy. Okay. There. The Witch King. Do I have to fight him? And where is Celeron? You come too late, servant of Gil-galad. Your fear has left you defenseless, and the elf has been borne away by the winged beasts of my master. The Elf King will never see him again, for he shall suffer evermore in the dungeons of Barad-dûr. But you shall be changed, and you will return to Gil-galad as his greatest foe. Such is the will of Sauron. Oh my God! Suffer now, and rise anew into the realm of the unseen. Rest easy, my friend. You are safe from harm in Imaldris. The wound has healed, but Belle remains in need of rest, Harthellen. Rest well, my friend. I shall return. After you fell, we attempted to heal you, but the Witch King of Angmar had dealt you a grievous injury, one unlike any dealt to our peoples before the hands of the Dark Lord. The decision was made to return you to Imaldris, far from the lands of the enemy. You suffered for years in restless agony, and my healers worked to free you of the evils that lingered in your wound. As for the task given you by Gil-galad, do not consider it a failure. None could have foreseen the enemy's malice in sending his Nazgul to seize Celeron. Tragically, he was never found, even after Barad-dûr itself was brought to ruin. It wounded Gil-galad greatly to lose you both in the war, and it is said that his light was dimmed through all the battles that followed. Even so, he did not falter before the enemy. You did not fall in vain, my friend. Our victory on the battle plain that day bore fruit indeed. Sauron resisted our assaults for 7 years in the Dark Tower, but in the end he was cast down by Gil-galad and Elendil. Elendil's son Isildur cut the ring from Sauron's finger, destroying the Dark Lord and banishing him from this realm.
I am certain Father has told you all about the journey ahead.
Yes. Oh my goodness, what a dream! I'll tell you what, though. That was one of those dreams that feels like you're right there in the thick of it. But now, Bellany is smart enough to realize that she has been given a vision of the past. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope to see you next time. Please give a like and subscribe. Take care now. Bye-bye.